morning, it's Mrs. Kopak. I'm in my kitchen today because I thought I would teach you how to make Play-Doh. It's a nice day out today, so you may want to be outside and playing, but if it rains tomorrow, this might be a fun thing to do. You don't need a whole lot of special ingredients. What we need is 1 cup of flour, a half a cup of salt, 1 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, and then you can add color or flavor if you like. So I'm going to show you how to make Amy's Play-Doh. So I usually measure things on a tray just because it's easier to clean up. So the first thing I need is a cup of flour. I'm going to fill the cup of flour. Scoop it out of the bag, and then when you're measuring dry ingredients, you always use a dry measure, which is like this. And once you get it full, then you want to level it off across the top. I level it over the bag just so that I get the flour back into the bag. I'm going to be using a small frying pan to mix it in. So I add my cup of flour. The next thing the recipe calls for is a half a cup of salt. So I have a half cup measure. See how it's just half the size of the big cup? So I pour my salt in. And again, I'm going to measure it or level it off. And then add it to my pan. The next thing on our ingredients list is the water. I'm going to actually add the dry ingredients first, so I'm going to go ahead and add the cream of tartar first. And it says 2 teaspoons. This is a measuring teaspoon, and I'm going to open up my cream of tartar. And I buy it in bulk because I make the Play-Doh for the school, and when I make it for the school, I triple the recipe, so I tend to buy it in bulk. But usually it's just a small can. And I can measure it this way and add that to my pan. And it said 2 teaspoons. Of cream of tartar. Then what I like to do is just kind of mix up the dry ingredients. If you're making cookies, often you have the dry ingredients and you cream the butters and the sugars first and then add the dry ingredients. So this is kind of the other way. You do the dry ingredients and then you add the wet ingredients to it. So it says we need a cup of water. This is a liquid measure. So it says 1 cup right here. And you measure it at eye level to make sure that it's right there. The other things that I like to do is I like to add my oil to the water, get all those wet ingredients mixed together. So it calls for 1 tablespoon. See how the tablespoon is bigger than the teaspoon? 3 teaspoons actually make up 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to measure my oil into there and just add it to my water. So now we have our flour, our salt, our cream of tartar, our water, and our oil. The flavorings and extracts or the food coloring, those can all be added at the end. I found a trick. I add them with the water. So I've got all these different colors, and I know some of you would probably really like to make blue. Some others might like green. I am going with yellow today. So I'll add the food coloring to my water, as much as you want. The more you add, the darker it gets. This is where you can mix colors too. If you wanted to make purple, you would mix, what are you thinking? Purple is blue and red, that's right. And then I'm going to stir it up. So now I have a yellow liquid. What would be a nice smell to give to my Play-Doh today? I'm thinking maybe some lemon. Some of the choices that I had today were raspberry, banana extract, but I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice, just to give it a little bit of smell. Not that you'd want to eat it. There's nothing in it that's going to harm you, but it's really salty. Okay, so now I have my wet ingredients that I'm going to add to my dry ingredients. And I'm just going to pour them in there, and I'm using a whisk just to try to mix them up. You can see a little bit of what that looks like. Kind of looks like scrambled eggs, but it smells like lemon. I've added things like coffee to the Play-Doh. You could add mint. I thought about adding a little bit of rosemary today, so maybe I will do that. A lemon rosemary Play-Doh. Okay, now that I have it all mixed up, there's still some lumps in there, but that's okay. Then we're going to go to the stove. And this is where you have to be really careful. So I'm going to take the video here and move it over this way. So hopefully you can see my stove. Let's see. Hopefully that works. Now, I'm going to put this onto the stove, and I'm going to keep stirring, and I'm just going to put the heat up to about medium. Got to check and make sure it's not too big of a flame. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll keep mixing it with the whisk.